You can't give what you don't have. When you are talking about integrity, you are really talking about the real person, who that person is.
When you talk of integrity, you talk of honesty. To be honest. And to be honest means to be trustworthy, to be truthful. And politics is science and art of government.
Politics is about the people.
Yes.
And if you talk about it in a deeper sense, it has to do with how people take decision on how to lead themselves.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to another wonderful episode of your favorite TV program, Christians and Politics, on your darling TV station, the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. Today we are looking at another interesting topic, Fulani herdsmen attack in Nigeria. For a while now we've been witnessing some attacks by some cattle rearers whom we see with various weapons. They're actually armed, both in the middle belts, down south, and some other parts of Nigeria. They have been striking. So today we are looking at Fulani herdsmen attack in Nigeria. And with me in the studio to discuss these topics are Reverend Canon Benjamin Abuja. He's an Anglican priest with the Diocese of Abuja. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we also have a Venerable J.O. Unoyen. He is the Director of Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria, and the Chaplain to the National Assembly. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Today we're looking at the topic Fulani herdsmen attack in Nigeria. Reverend Benjamin, would you help us with this question? What do you think is the objective of these Fulani herdsmen attacks in the host communities that we've seen so far?
Well, first of all, if we are to look at the objectives, we must first of all look at who are these Fulani herdsmen. Where are they from? Looking at and asking these questions, one, we first of all look at where they are from, because there was a time when an attack took place in some part of the south, and you see some Fulanis who came out publicly to deny that they are not Fulanis. But later on they said they are cattle rearers or herdsmen from Niger Republic, and some are from Chad. And you ask this question, if these people are from Chad or they are Nigerians, what are they doing in Nigeria? Who brought them into this country? How do they enter this country? Does it mean we don't have military men protecting the territorial integrity of Nigeria anymore? And if they are not Nigerians, if they are not Chadians, then we must ask this question: where are they from? Where are they from? And nobody has come out openly to say that those they arrested are security agencies, and government has never come out to say they have arrested anybody who is a Nigerian or a Chadian in Nigeria. Then if they are not Chadians, those believed to be herdsmen in Nigeria, they are predominantly Fulanis. And if they are predominantly Fulanis, what are their objectives? Because those in the south, they have a culture, and not just culture, they have means of livelihood is farming. And if the Fulani herdsmen, their source of livelihood is rearing of cattle. You cannot use your means of livelihood to destroy another person's means of livelihood. And going to the south, where you don't have land, you don't have any stake in that state to ferment trouble, it shows that there is something beneath the eyes.
So what can you say are those things?
Yes, because what is currently happening in this country, there is an underground design that is not yet clear to people in the south, the middle belt, and even part of the north. Because those who are doing these things, I don't think an average Fulani cattle rearer or Fulani herdsman may have the capacity, financial muscle to acquire the type of ammunitions and weapons being acquired by the Fulani herdsmen who are fermenting this problem in the south today, in the country today. Because the cost of AK-47 in Nigeria, you cannot even see to buy in the market. Those who are behind these people are rich people, and the Fulani herdsmen, they are not the owners of the cattle. So the owners of the cattle must be brought into this issue that is causing problem in Nigeria. And failure for the government to come into this problem is a call for anarchy. It's a call for civil war.
Okay, we'll take it from there. Venerable, so what could you possibly say it's the objective of this Fulani herdsmen?
Well, in this angle, we think we may be permitted to speculate. I want to seriously believe that, because it started by asking the question, who are these herdsmen?
Where are they from?
Where are they from? Are they Fulanis? Are they from outside this country? Who are these herdsmen? Now, from what I can say so far, I want to believe that these people that we call herdsmen are not real herdsmen. These people we call herdsmen, as far as I'm concerned, I believe they are Boko Haram members. Because their pattern of operation, if you see the havoc they are doing to people, the way they machete people without mercy, the way they rape women, rape innocent girls, the way they steal, they block the road to rob people of their belongings and all that, and the way they are strategically pushing. And of course, you see what happened in what has been happening in Benue in particular. The way they are trying to uproot the communities completely. They don't always stop at killing the people. They kill the people, destroy the economic tree, burn their houses and everything just to uproot them completely in order for them to occupy the place. You can, there's no other way you explain this one to me other than the same agenda of the Boko Haram that has been on in the Northeast. Because if such a thing is not checked, before you know it, for instance, in the Agatu area in Benue, before you know it, if you allow these people to establish themselves, they will declare a caliphate. The way the Boko Haram people did in Northeast. So for me, these people may be Boko Haram in disguise, still advancing forward with their own agenda to Islamize the country.
So, is there a way you're trying to say they are likely terrorists?
How do you define terrorism? If somebody comes to my own community, to my own village, kill my father, kill my mother, and take over our farmland in the name of Israelica, what can be more? How do you differentiate that one from terrorism? Is he only the one that detonated a bomb that is a terrorist, or somebody who hijacked a plane? Any person that commits an act that instill fear on other people is a terrorist, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. This brings us to the next question. So far, we've seen that there's been a constant, systematic, in fact, it's been repeated. The same system goes on from Agatu down to south. In fact, recently, somewhere in Enugu, Ogu precisely, there was a report too on this Fulani herdsmen attack. Now, from what has happened so far, what can you say is the government's role in all this? Have they done anything to help the people who have been attacked? Have they done anything to curb this menace? Have they done anything at all?
You know, I'm in Nigeria. I've always lived in Nigeria. I don't want to believe that this is how security matter is handled all over the world. In Nigeria, policing system, to me, is always reactionary. When a bomb is exploded or detonated, then you see they will come and cordon off the area and start tying a yellow or red rope to prevent people from getting there. Then you see policemen now on duty with guns all around. And what has happened has already happened. The same attitude is what I'm seeing even as touching these herdsmen menace that has been going on for some time. These people go, attack community, burn down their houses, kill people in numbers, then before they deploy security men to come and be hanging around in that area. And before you know it, even the few people who escaped from the hand of the herdsmen are being terrorized again, molested by the same security people in most cases. So I feel government can do better than what we are seeing now. And by the way, honestly, I've not really seen a high-powered figure in government come out to really condemn what these Fulani herdsmen or whoever they are doing.
So in essence, you're saying the government hasn't done anything?
If they have done something, not to my knowledge, and whatever they have done, to me, is not enough. As far as people are dying in their number, you know, I always blame Nigeria media. They are underreporting what is going on in this country. They are underreporting what is going on in this country. People are dying by the day in the hands of these people. Look at one of the archbishops of the Anglican Communion was sharing his experience in a particular occasion not too long ago, and is in the Lokoja axis, and he shared his experience on the number of attacks he had had from the hands of these people along the road. There was a particular one where he was even macheted. There's a particular occasion where church members were sent to a particular place, and on the road they were waylaid, and some of the youths were killed. We are not talking about the ones happening in the farms and all that. People are now afraid to go to farm. Women can't go to farm. Men can't go to farm. So to me, I don't think government have done enough. If you cannot secure the country, where is the purpose of being in power? If you cannot secure the people that elected you to lead them, Nigerians are dying. Like, I don't know whether we ever sit down to imagine what it means to lose a loved one. If you have not lost somebody very close to you, you cannot estimate the degree of the atrocity that these people are committing. But when you lose a loved one, maybe a wife or your child, God forbid, batting, or your parents and all that, or your direct sibling from the same blood, it is then you can really sit down and know, estimate what these people are doing to Nigerians. Because it's a circle. When you lose one person in a family, the pain, it has ripple effect. So many things will be disorganized. The loss of that person, the vacuum created, it takes the grace of God to fill it. Then you see people just killing people. They are not killing cows.
Okay,
we are talking about human beings here.
Okay, to you,
yeah, and in their own communities, in the place where they were born, not that they traveled out of their own village. People come from somewhere in the name of herdsmen. Is it only in Nigeria we eat meat?
Okay, Venerable will be back to you, and to Reverend Canon, please, what's your own thought on the reaction of the government so far about this? Do you think they've actually done enough, or they've not done much, like Venerable has tried to say?
With all sense of responsibility, I would say we don't have government in Nigeria. Because if it's a place where value is attached to human lives, like some more other organized countries. Let me use what happened in Belgium recently. The attack in Brussels in particular. When the government, immediately it happened, the government of that country came out, mobilized all its security agencies, because lives are involved. And even our country here, the irony of it, in our country here, the president came out to speak against what happened in Brussels. Not up to 24 hours. But what happened at Agatu when more than 500 lives were lost? Honestly, if it's in a country where you have good leadership, there's supposed to be a national broadcast in respect to what happened in Agatu. Not even thinking of what happened in Edo State. The kidnap of Olufalai. The killing of the king of this place in Delta.
Is it Obuluku?
Obuluku in Delta.
Yes, I heard of that.
The massacre in Abia. And you talk of that of Nasarawa. Brethren, let us look at these things from every angle. You discover that there is a systematic approach to Islamize Nigeria. Because I was reading through a document just day before yesterday, when Oshu Idoma was saying it very clear that about 10 communities are still being occupied by these herdsmen.
10 communities?
Yes. Then you ask this question.
Which state exactly? What value, economic value are these herdsmen contributing to the progress of this country? We are in a country where these cattle rearers are paying no dime as a tax to this country. They sell their cattle and put the money into their pockets. They don't pay tax. And they move to every part of this country to destroy human beings, destroy their properties, and our government is not saying anything. And you ask yourself, in a country where rights of citizens are protected, lives are protected, because the primary responsibility of every government is to protect lives and property. Should we say we are in a failed state? So
should we say Nigeria is a failed state?
You are trying to say that the government hasn't
government has not done enough. As far as I'm concerned, there is no government in Nigeria, because if the lives of citizens cannot be protected, which is the primary responsibility of a government, that is a failure.
Okay, now in Nigeria we have the National Assembly, and the National Assembly are people like us whom we voted in to go and represent our constituents. So from what we've seen so far, if the government is not actually doing enough, what can we say about the National Assembly? Why are the senators, the members of the House of Rep, why are they not talking about this? Why are they not doing anything about it?
That is the big question. That is the big question. That's why he started by asking a big question. Who are these people? Who are the powers behind these people? Who is sponsoring these so-called herdsmen? Who is buying AK-47 for them? How come these people are presumably illiterate people can operate AK-47? How many of us can operate a day gun? Ordinary day gun. How come these people can operate AK-47? Then you now bring it to the National Assembly. How come that people are being killed, people are being maimed, and you don't hear somebody cry out? He talked about the king of Ubuluku. Is there no House of Rep member from that very community? Is there no senator from that very place in Delta? Has the person come out to cry out? You talk about Benue, that this killing has been going on all this long. How many senators have you seen come out from that axis to cry out, to lead a protest, to say my people are being killed? You see, in one of the episodes before, I said the unfortunate thing in Nigeria is that many of the people who say they are there to represent us, they are not representing any person. They are there because of their stomach. Many of these people are not talking because they themselves in the south, in the eastern part of the country, in the western part of the country, most of these representatives believe that this is a systematic agenda from one side of the country to continue to project themselves and move forward with their religious agenda whatsoever. And so they are not ready to challenge it. They are not ready to speak because they want to remain in their seat, because they want to come back. So as far as I'm concerned, any senator, any House of Rep member who this thing is not moved with what is going on and is not bold enough to come out to speak, is not representing his people.
So you believe the National Assembly has not done anything?
Have you seen what they have done?
But there's been talks.
Are you not in Nigeria?
There have been talks about.
Are you not in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria? If you know what they have done, tell me.
Okay.
Can I come in here?
So,
yeah. When you look at the scenario and the situation happening in this country, with regards to members of our National Assembly, you will know that we are moving towards, I don't want to use the word dictatorship, because any politician who is open or who is outspoken is seen as a rebel against the government in the center. We have governors who are speaking, but you see the way they are being threatened. The question I would even like to ask Nigerians, where are those civil rights activists? Where are those civil rights activists who were moving from one state to another, moving from one country to another, calling for the bringing back of the Chibok girls? Those are girls who were kidnapped. But we are talking about lives that were massacred in cold blood. None of those civil rights activists
is speaking now.
Is speaking. And you ask yourself, these civil rights activists, are they not sponsored by politicians? These same politicians who are sponsoring these herdsmen, I want to believe they are the ones sponsoring this civil rights activists, because if they are not being sponsored, if they are doing it with sincerity of heart, they will come out to speak against what is happening in Nigeria, correct?
So from your own perspective, you believe the National Assembly hasn't done
They
anything.
have not done anything, because
there's been some discussions about this.
Discuss what?
Of late.
What type of discussion?
Of late.
My brother.
There was something.
My brother,
there was something on this issue about grazing bill.
Yes, he who goes to equity must go with clean hands.
Okay.
Members of our National Assembly, many of them, they don't have the moral right, because they feel that if they come out to speak, many of them, they have one thing or the other that the central government will use against them.
Yeah.
And nobody is ready to speak.
They are afraid.
And if they will not speak, we religious leaders, we must speak out. Because Nigeria don't belong to a segment of this country alone. It belongs to all of us. And failure for our leaders to speak is a call for anarchy. It's a call for civil war. Because when you continue to push people, there is a point you will push them to. There will be a reaction. There will be a need for the people to defend themselves. As a Nigerian, I cannot see my father, my mother, or my brothers being massacred.
And you expect me to keep quiet?
And you will say I should maintain peace.
Instead to arrest the criminal that is doing that, you are talking about grazing bill.
When you are talking about grazing, who among in the north? Let me ask this simple question, because you are talking about grazing routes and grazing routes.
Are you ready to give me rights in Sokoto?
In Sokoto? Are you ready to give
a place where I will take some people from my village to go to Sokoto, to go to Maduguri, give them an espace of land, reserve it, and say they cannot be farming here. Are you ready to do that? What are you talking about grazing bee, even grazing bee?
But some of those things are actually meant to help.
No, they are not address the root cause.
My brother, see, they must address the root cause.
My canon.
In some other developed countries,
yes,
where things are done with human face, if you must go in a patrol, if you must run a particular trade, you take responsibility. You take responsibility. It must not be at the expense of another person. It is their trade, it is their occupation. And if since they are taking it as their occupation, they should build ranches.
Now,
what stops them?
Canon Ben, the question is, I'm now about 50 years old, getting to 50 years old. Have we not been eating meat in this country before? The herdsmen, have they not been there in this country before?
That is it.
What is this hustle? What is this battle that is going on? Go to any village in Nigeria, you find them now. Even in Abuja has been taken over by the herdsmen, even if you don't know. Behind us here, do you know the number? Is this green land behind us here now? Do you know the number? There's hardly a day you don't see people carrying their cattle behind our house. Right there here in Wuse Zone 5 and everywhere in Abuja. If I'm driving to my church, do you know the number of times I stop within Abuja for cars to be crossing main road? What kind of country is this? What kind of country is this?
My brother, before you move on, let's even look at it from this perspective. If a farmer from Agatu land or Abia or Ekiti should move up north and decide to go and massacre a community, destroy that community, kill their king, what will be the reaction in this country? And
you are telling me National Assembly has sitting down to be talking of give them a grace to establish criminal in my community? Is that what you are trying to do?
Okay, and many of our National Assembly members have come out to speak against what has been happening in this country. Even the president, has he ever come out to make a public broadcast to condemn this heinous crime if there is no motive behind it?
So do you believe there's a way we can actually hold our president for not condemning in totality that and they are to killing the way Nigerians expect?
Like what I've said earlier, the sole responsibility, the primary responsibility of any government is to protect lives and properties. If a crime that is tending towards terrorism, where more than 500 lives were lost, and as the #1 citizen, there is no national broadcast. Let me ask you, are human lives. Can you equate human lives with cattle? Some of these Fulani herdsmen came out publicly to say that their 10,000 cows were killed.
And they say they poisoned the source of water.
That was why they have to invade the community.
Okay, well, at this juncture, gentlemen, we'll be going on break. Viewers, we'll be going on break shortly. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, viewers. We've been talking about the Fulani herdsmen attack in Nigeria. With me so far in the studio has been Reverend Canon Benjamin Abuja and Venerable J.O. Unoyen. We've been talking about the Fulani herdsmen attack in Nigeria. We've mentioned some places where these attacks have taken place. We've asked questions. We've talked, we've discussed a lot here. Now, if we believe the government hasn't done much, and we think the National Assembly haven't done much as expected by citizens, now, how do you think the citizens can help the government, or rather help themselves, to cope this Fulani herdsmen attack? Remember, we are not by law allowed to carry arms. So I believe there should be a way out of this. What do you think the citizens of Nigeria can do?
I think that is what we are doing here now. And we need to encourage everyone to speak out. And the citizens are not the ones to help the government. The government is put in place to help the citizens, because the citizens are helpless, really. It is the government that is in charge of the armed forces. It is the government that is in charge of the police. The government has all the auxiliary security services like SSS and intelligence agencies. Yes. They are all there. So if they really want to help the citizens of Nigeria to check what is going on, the government have what it takes to do that. The government has the money to follow up whatsoever they want to do to make this country secured for the citizens. If you allow citizens to help themselves, You're only calling for anarchy. That's why you see my brother have been, you know, boiling, because say don't push people into a state of anarchy. If people are being killed and those who are statutorily empowered or authorized to take action are not taking any action, then what are you telling the citizens to do? You are telling them to take up arms by themselves.
But there must be something the citizens can do.
Yes.
We can't just push everything to the government.
Yeah, that is why I said it's part of what we are doing here.
Okay.
I have other jobs to do. But what is going on in the country is becoming very worrisome. That is why we are here in the studio talking. Okay. Because we believe those in government will hear us, because they have protected themselves that you cannot even reach them. So, but somehow, at least they will get to know or hear how some of us are feeling and how Nigerians are feeling about what is going on. And our brother took on the civil societies and human rights activists. I don't know what they are waiting for. They can come out. They can pressurize government. I believe they are there as pressure group. They can pressurize those in authority to do what they are supposed to do if they don't know what to do.
Okay, excuse me, Venerable. These communities that are under attacks, they actually have village heads. They have community heads. We have people in these communities that can actually sensitize people, that can talk. If the government is not talking, people in the National Assembly are not talking, you think the citizens can't do anything, and those local leaders can't do anything? Because I know there's a way they can react to this and will get a better result, sir.
No, if you go that way, we plunge Nigeria into confusion. If you leave, if government at the center leave this thing and leave this thing in the hand of communities, it will be a major disaster for this country. Okay. So it will lead to civil war. So the best thing is for government to act. Because the best thing is for government to act. I think it's the problem we are having as a country is that it's like we don't learn fast. Do you know what the problem of Boko Haram is costing Nigeria today? Or what it has cost Nigeria today?
Quite a lot, we are aware.
This is how we played on it. This is how we politicized it. People were not ready to talk. Government was not ready to act in good time.
Until it escalated.
The political party in power was not ready to do anything because of one political interest or the other, because they believe if they take some drastic action, some particular set of people in the country will not vote for them for second term. And so they allowed this thing to spread. When my brother is sometimes use the terminology no government, it's not by any means trying to slight the present government. No. What he's saying indirectly is that if the government in place is not doing what it's supposed to do at the right time, and under their watch, the country is being thrown into a state of anarchy, they are the one telling the world that there is no government.
Okay, Venerable, we'll be back to you. Reverend Canon Ben, what do you think the citizens can do to help curb this? If the government hasn't done much and we don't have much help coming from the National Assembly, is there anything you think the citizens can do?
The citizen can do a lot.
Okay.
But not by taking arms. Because when I say not by taking arms, the citizens can put the government on their toes to act. We know that, yes, the government are put in place by the citizens. But if the government are not acting, where are the human rights activists? Where are our religious leaders?
We have traditional
rulers, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Where is the media? Where is the media? If you look at countries that have succeeded, it's because the media in those countries are doing what they are expected to do. The religious leaders are doing what they are expected to do. The traditional rulers are doing what they are expected to do. Not the kind of religious leaders we have today that is so disunited that some will feel that what is happening in a particular community, as long as it doesn't affect my church, it's not my concern. This is the time for Christian leaders to call for a national conference. Look at what our president, with all sense of responsibility to our president, what he did recently. When Nigeria was dragged into a coalition of Islamic countries. Is Nigeria an Islamic country?
Not at all.
Not at all. And what is the role of our National Assembly? Do they ask questions? There's no single question, because when you were saying the other time that our National Assembly, are they not acting? I will say they are not acting. They are not active at all, because I've not seen, apart from David Mark, who went to that place because his own community, part of his own community, and senatorial district is involved. When he went to distribute some relief materials and condemn what happened in that place, I've not seen any political leader or from the National Assembly who have come out to condemn what has happened in that place. And no, I've not seen, apart from few, religious leaders. Because you ask yourself, where is CAN? Where is Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria? Where is CCN? Where are they?
Why are they not speaking?
Why are they not speaking out? If they feel that they are not concerned, because they are part of the citizens of this country, if they feel that they are not concerned, what happened in Turkey will happen in Nigeria, that Christian leaders will be forced, and by then it will be too late. Because Nigeria is gradually, it's a systematic approach to Islamize Nigeria, whether we like it or not. Because when you finish, you finish your community and you settle in that community, it means that you have taken over and you declare a caliphate. And such must not be allowed in Nigeria. If these people, the Fulani herdsmen, are truly Fulani herdsmen that we know, that doesn't have ulterior motives, then this kind of things happening is not expected.
Of recent, if I may just come in, of recent, not too long ago, I was driving around Abuja, and at every junction, I saw uniformed people take over the control of traffic at every junction, and I begin to wonder, who are these people? Who are these uniformed people in every junction, all over in a country that where you have policemen, you have traffic wardens, then strangers all of a sudden take over the whole streets. Uniformed people took over all the whole roads in Federal Capital Territory, for that matter. Only for me to be asking questions, and they say there's one Islamic conference, international Islamic conference, holding somewhere in the city. So it means if there's going to be a Christian conference in Abuja tomorrow, I also bring uniform people that is not known to law to take over everywhere. What kind of a system is that? What kind of a system are we running? And how can we continue like this? And how do you expect people to continue to keep quiet? You want somebody to kill me before I start talking?
But Venerable, with due respect to the church, we have different organizations in the church. We have different unions in the church. Why are they not speaking out? What do you think is hindering that? Why are they not doing more?
No, I'm not here to speak for somebody who has failed. I can only speak for myself, and that's why I'm here talking. I can't speak for somebody who says he's a bishop and he cannot condemn evil. I can't speak for somebody who says he's a general overseer and is controlling millions of citizens of Nigeria, that people are killing their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, their relations, taking over their land. You only collect their offering and you cannot talk. I can't speak for such people. I can't even answer your question whether such people are Christians.
Canon, do you share in his belief about this? I think the church can come in if we use the different bodies we have in the church.
Yes. Such bodies, the purpose of the existence of such bodies is to promote unity and peace and oneness among believers. But what we are seeing today, we are seeing a divided organization, because some feel that, when Boko Haram started, when they were bombing churches, there were some that felt that my church is not involved, it's not affected.
And so they refused to speak.
It's not my concern. Or some felt that because what is happening, even some sitting governors are quiet. Christian governors are quiet. They feel that it's not their concern. They will not speak. But you ask yourself, the resources, the revenue that is going to be used to develop these destroyed areas in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, are they not part of our revenue? Then you ask yourself this simple question: why are our religious leaders keeping quiet?
That's the problem. Why are they keeping quiet, sir?
Must they wait till Christians are exterminated before they speak? If they refuse to speak, like what Esther says, that if you think that you are in a palace, you are collecting offerings, you are collecting tithe from the people, and you will not speak when their parents, their brothers and sisters are being eliminated, massacred, one day what happened in their family will happen in your family, and it will be too late. Like what I said earlier, if you keep quiet, what happened in Turkey will happen in Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will be too late for Christian leaders to speak. And that is why I am calling for all Christian leaders to be united and call for a national conference, Christian national conference, where they will speak with one voice against what is happening today. Because if anything should happen to Nigeria, every Christian
will be affected. Okay.
Whether you are a deeper life, whether you are an Anglican, whether you are a Catholic, whether you are a Redeemed, you will be affected. If you are not directly affected, your family members will be affected.
Okay, now there's a question I wanted to ask earlier. In Ogu, in Enugu State, there was a case where some herdsmen attacked, and the military, it was reported that the military came and made some arrests. Some men, villagers, up to 76 of them, or more than 100, were bundled out of the village down to Abia State and locked up. It took the intervention of the Enugu governor, who went to the community where the incident happened, pleaded with them to allow him handle the issue. I think later on these people were. Now, what does this all tell us, sir?
Well, I'm just hearing that because maybe I missed that a piece of news when it happened, and that is unfortunate. If herdsmen attacks a community, and at the end of the day, the security agents who are meant to protect the people comes around to pick up the same members of the community, I can't explain that. I don't know why. Why is it difficult to identify a herdsman, a Fulani herdsman? Is it difficult to identify them?
Not at all.
If they say they are Nigerians, they are Chaldeans, is it difficult to identify them? Does an Igbo man look like a Fulani man? even from the face.
Okay.
So something is wrong somewhere now. Something is wrong somewhere. That is what I'm saying. Do you need to go to a special school to identify a Fulani herdsman?
Now, if you asked what actually do you think is wrong, what would you say, sir?
I believe some people know more than we know. I believe some people know more than we know.
So it goes back to we holding the government to...
Yes,
to
some people know more than we know.
Okay. Now, Canon, what is your own thought on this? Venerable has said some people know more than we know. We need to go back to the government. We are in a jiffy. What do you think we can do to actually hold our government responsible so that they would help to resolve this issue?
Just like what I said earlier, citizens who have spoken are being arrested just to intimidate them for not to speak against what is happening, what the Fulani herdsmen are doing. I read an article concerning what happened when a notable politician was invited because he spoke publicly against what the Fulanis are doing in Anambra State. All these are ways that the central government is using to intimidate politicians, notable leaders, so that they will not come out to speak or to voice out anything that is happening that the herdsmen are doing. So the only way out is Nigerians, especially Christians who have moral conscience, not those whose consciences has been bought over, will come out to speak with one voice. Christians whose moral conscience are not being bought over. Because there are many of our Christian leaders whose consciences has been bought over. Some of them are not ready to speak. Okay. Even if they see their own mothers killed there, as far as they are not involved, they will not speak.
Okay. Venerable, in a jiffy, what do you think is the way forward?
I've always kind of tried to commend the president, especially looking at his background as an ex-military man and coming to be a democratic president now, and the way he has spoken on some occasion on human rights, and they said during his watch he will not tamper with fundamental rights of citizens and all that, and he will not allow people to do that, which means he wants people to speak, he wants people to do the right thing and all that. I want to encourage him to do more, because if all that is happening now continue to happen and he's not able to stop it, he will be the one to be blamed at the end of the day for whatsoever is happening. So we want to appeal to Mr. President. All Nigeria, every part of Nigeria is his, because all Nigerians voted for him. And you know, in his inaugural speech, he said it's for everybody and it's for nobody. And the people really clap for that. And I want to believe that he spoke from his heart, that it's for everybody and it's for nobody. And so he must let that not just end up in words. It must translate to action, and let the whole world see it, that he actually meant what he said. Is not for any particular religion, it's not for any particular part of the country, it's for everybody and it's for no particular person. Okay. So if the president can do that, I think things
we will make
okay.
a headway. Yes. Okay. Reverend Canon Ben, we thank you for your contributions.
Thank you very much.
Venerable, we thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Viewers, I believe you've enjoyed this interesting topic today. Until next time, it's me, your presenter, Ken Wosu. Bye.